And now we're going to step up the complication a little bit. An order reads heparin sodium 1,300 units per hour by continuous IV infusion. The pharmacy prepares the medication, delivers an IV bag labeled heparin sodium 20,000 units per 250 mils D5W. An infusion pump must be used to administer the medication, of course. How many mils per hour are required to infuse 1,300 units per hour? Whoa! A little bit of extra complication there. What we're looking for is mils per hour, specifically to achieve a flow rate of 1,300 units per hour. So that's a little bit complicated, but we know that ultimately we're going to end up doing dose per hour desired over concentration per mil. That's just our standard milliliters per hour definition. And so we want to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. This is a two-step question. For step one, we want to simplify a little bit so that we're not using a whole bunch of crazy numbers. And so what I would really want to do first is figure out this concentration right here to achieve that 1,300 units per hour. And basically what I want to do is get from a point where we're using 250 milliliters to just using 1 milliliter. That will simplify our calculation a little bit. So we know that we have 20,000 units over 250 mils. If we go ahead and simplify that and just bring it down to 1 milliliter using some simple division, really simplifying the process, we're going to get 80 units per mil. And that's just 20,000 divided by 250, these two numbers right here. We don't want to overcomplicate it by introducing more numbers than we need. Nurses don't like numbers. That's just how we are. It's just a thing. So now that we have this, we can move it into our next step of the problem, which is figuring out our infusion rate in mils per hour. So we have our dose desired, which is 1,300 units per hour. And then we're going to go ahead and figure out our infusion rate by doing a simple step, which is the dose per hour required over the infusion rate, which is 80. That's right here. So we're going to go ahead and do the 1,300. That's our dose per hour required. We know that we are looking for units of 80 per ml. If we wanted to break this down even further, just to kind of clarify how the units work, it's going to look something like this. 1,300 units over hour times 1 hour over 80. We get this from just switching these over here. And this might be a little bit confusing, but if you want to figure out how to get to that units per hour answer, or to the milliliters per hour answer, we're going to go ahead and switch these so that we can actually go ahead and do the math. That gives us a final formula of 1,300 over 80. That should be a 3, which gives us a final answer of 16.25, which we can round to 16 mils per hour. And again, this is a confusing one. Basically, you want to make sure that you simplify as much as you can so you can achieve the answer that you're looking for. Figure out what you're looking for just like you normally would. Break down as much as you can, and then go ahead and use your formulas. The formulas are there to simplify things for you, so take advantage of them. Make sure your answer makes sense. Does 16 mils make sense? Yes, it does. We can go ahead and we can move forward. Just get as much practice as you can with these types of problems. They are certainly more challenging than a typical math problem because there are multiple steps, but the more practice you do, the better it'll be.